Guys, and welcome back to the channel. So how was news today? Because on my part, news went marvelously well, right? Now obviously, as you can see, we are still shooting all the way up and price is still making higher highs, right? This is very important for you to understand that I wasn't even interested in trading news. To be honest, I wasn't even interested in trading news. What was I doing? Because this morning I already had my analysis. This was my analysis. We realized that I had a lot of trades on my mind, right? Which was very simple. When the trend is pushing all the way up, always take your time and execute your trades all the way up. Don't do anything bad. Don't do anything eager. Wait for the good setup, execute. So you realize that I actually wanted price to hit this trend line and I'll execute buys inside this fair value gap right here, which will probably shoot up to this high. Because price was struggling around this zone to push up, I wanted this high right here to shoot price back down to the last order block before we now pick a massive trade to take out this high right here. So that was my analysis. But the first trade was a buy. Why? Because I know price was shooting all the way up. And fortunately on my part, that was the only trade that actually went all the way up, right? I did not get to execute those extra trades, just one trade and it went all the way up. I've already taken first and second TP. I executed 5 loss size, leaving only this one loss size. I just actually want to see where price is going to push all the way up to. But that's just by the way. Now, let me tell you something about news and also let me analyze what happened this morning because I can't just show you this without telling you what was happening. So obviously, price dropped all the way back down. We needed price to shoot all the way up. You can see that after price creating this high right here, we shot all the way up. Next BOS, push all the way up, giving us this high. Price did not take out this low, neither did it take out this high right here. So indirectly, this whole level was just a consolidation. Price was just going to come back, pull liquidity, and shoot all the way up. And that is it. Market structure, right? Now, news did add into the market, and as you can see, we shot all the way up extremely fast. This is one thing you have to understand about news. News only does two things because news is fundamental. It doesn't change price. It either add to price or it rejects price. So why am I saying this? And let me show you. So if we are in an uptrend on a certain pair, we are making higher highs and higher lows. This is what price is doing. Now, if in any case price comes or news comes in rather, if in any case news comes in and it favors the pair that you are trading, it's just going to shoot it all the way up very fast, right? Adding to the trend, meaning we're already in an upward movement, so it's just going to add. But if it doesn't favor the trend, let's say news comes in and is actually going against the trend, it's negative. What happens is price is going to reject all the way back down, but it will initially come back and continue the trend again. So that is the reason why I said news is fundamentals. It only adds and rejects price. It doesn't subtract price. So news will just be a reaction from here, just around this zone, all the way back down. But the initial trend will continue. Nothing is going to happen, right? It's that simple. So all you need to do is get your trends right or get your analysis right. All I needed to do today was just get the analysis right. And I already know since yesterday that we are pushing all the way up. So to me, it wasn't really a big deal. All I needed to do is just wait for price to come to at least its lowest or a certain point that I'm actually good and relaxed to understand that price is at its low, and I'll execute my buy all the way up. And that was it. When this trend shot all the way up, you can see that since yesterday I did not execute any single sell because of price was pushing all the way up. I don't have to do that, right? Now I actually taught several strategies that could have actually worked for you today, but a lot of people just ignore these strategies and they won't actually do what works, right? So let's look at some of the strategies. One, the short bar strategy. The most common strategy that my students use is the short bar strategy because it's very easy and you just have to wait and price will print it out for you because it's a non-constant strategy. It doesn't have a specific time and what place like the 714 method, right? So the short bar strategy, you can see it right here. I did not trade it, neither did I trade this because I was already in a trade. So it happened here and this level right here. Yesterday it actually happened also, but I was already in a trade or with a different strategy, which was this zone right here. You can see it. So how does it work if you are new and you don't understand? we want price to either be in a downtrend or an uptrend. So you have to understand that price must actually be in a trending movement. Even just a single BOS is enough. Now the next thing we want to see is a pause, price push all the way up, came back to the exact moment and change character. So we want to see something that looks like a double bottom. If it's in an uptrend, we want to see a double top and immediately change character, and that is where you do what? You sell or you buy, right? So if it's in a downtrend, you buy. If it's in an uptrend, you sell. And put your stop loss just below this zone right here. Now it worked today as well. Some of my students actually used it on this news right here, and it went perfectly. Others also use the 714 method and it also worked. Now, if you said the 714 method did not work, let me just draw this very, very fast before I'll now come and explain why it worked. Now, it did not work fast, but some people got it. It would have been scary to actually trade it, but some people actually got it. So, all right, now this is wrong. This is wrong. All right, this is wrong. I wanted to actually draw a V trend. So it looks something more or less like this. All right, this is all right. So this was the 714 method. Obviously, you can see that we're in a consolidation. You can see it, a consolidation. So what do? I taught you how to trade the 714 method with consolidations and at the same time what? With V trends. The consolidation is just a half part of a V trend. This is a consolidation. This is the V trend. It's all the same. All you need to do is mark the highs right there and you mark the lows right there. Any breakthrough, you are executing your trade. You don't have to do anything within this zone right here. So definitely when the 714 method was around this zone, all you needed to do was just mark this level, which is the last high, and mark this lows right here. You can see the double button right there as well. You mark it right there. When price breaks above, you can see the break above, you buy. That was just what you needed, nothing serious. So you can see that the 714 method did work, but it would have been scary to trade though. It would have been scary. I've said it, it would have been scary. One thing a lot of people don't understand is please don't take the bigger time frames for granted. Why am I saying this? Those time frames are extremely massive. So let's look at this. I've seen a couple of charts. I've seen a couple of people's analysis just this past days, and they are already concluding that. I think that was yesterday. They were already concluding that price was going to drop just after this push on Wednesday to Thursday. A lot of people were already concluding that price is dropping all the way back down here. I've seen an analysis that someone was putting an entry above this TP right here. Sorry, this is becoming messy, but just hold on. So I've seen an analysis that someone did this. Now, unfortunately for that person, if that person is already in the trade, that is a bad idea because by now that person might have gotten out of the trade because price might have swept their highs or their stop loss. Sorry, price might have swept their stop loss. Why? Because you are taking the bigger time frame like a smaller time frame. The bigger time frame is quite different from the smaller time frame. If it's a 5 minute or 1 minute time frame that I see this type of move, I'll probably be looking forward to, for price dropping all the way back down. But this is a bigger time frame. This type of move doesn't necessarily mean we are dropping. It means price is reacting. What do? You find why price is reacting. You can see for sure that price was finding it hard to push up from this zone. So what did it do next? It came back into a fair value gap. Pull liquidity, went up to this zone, consolidated for a while, and shot with news. Simple as that. It's that simple. We are already in an uptrend. You don't have to do anything. Remember this. If you are confused as to what is happening, are we in an uptrend or a downtrend, you can always just use EMA or just any actual indicator that will teach you that price is in an uptrend. You don't have to rely on your own instincts. No. If you rely on your own instincts, sometimes you are going to get wrecked and it's not good. Nobody feels happy when a colleague trader is losing their account. You have to understand that. So try your best and minimize the way you trade, and also understand that if the price is in an uptrend, all you need to do is buy. You've seen me in most of my trades. I've executed a lot of trades. I can be selling at the same time buying. Now, when you look closely at from Thursday all the way up to today, did you actually see me do what? Execute a sell? No, because the actual trend is buying. Why should I be looking forward for sales? I don't have any business to do with sales at the moment. All the business I have is to buy. So anything that happens, I'm buying. I was in this trade, this right here, that right there, and this right here. Now, this trade, I was actually sleeping when it hit my final TP. Even though the last trade was actually at break even before I went to bed, but obviously I was not awake. I woke up and I saw the message that price hit it. So you can see what is happening, right? All you need to understand is the direction of the trend. Make your analysis to fit that direction and execute. And also understand that it's not every single trade or every single analysis that you're going to do that will work. I want the price to shoot from here up to this zone. Did it do that? Yes, it did that, but it did not reject back down. You can see that, right? So yes, price go up, but it never came back down. That's not the problem. I want the price to reject somewhere above this zone so that I'll sell. That doesn't necessarily mean that when prices come back into this high, because I was expecting a sells above this, I should get out of my buys and immediately start selling. No, why will I do that? I have to wait until price gives me a reason to actually sell, and I'll now sell. Despite I know that this is a high that price might take and sell down, I don't just have to jump into anything. That is what you have to understand about price, and that is what you have to understand about trend movement. And remember this, I'll probably be saying this for a very long time until you guys decide to learn it. Please remember, market structure movement is very, very important. That's the most important part of trading, because when you understand market structure movement, everything becomes simple. Any strategy you are going to use, you use it because you know it's going to be simple, right? This past week I talked about the SMC. It worked today as well. When you look closely at the trends that are executed here, you should have also used the SMC. It would have worked because this was the fair value gap right here. As you can see, price tested it once right here. Price tested, did not reach the other block, pushed back up, came back down, retested the other block. On this other block, you should have been buying, and it would have worked for you marvelously. So yes, every strategy that you're using, if it goes according to trend, trust me, it's going to be good. But if it doesn't, that is where you end up having problems. But that's just by the way. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for watching.